Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're jumping into, well, one of the darkest, most hidden corners of the Star Wars timeline.
Yeah, that really intense gap between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi.
Exactly. We're looking at the sources that fill in what happened right after Han got frozen on Bespin. It's a rough time for the rebellion.
Oh, absolutely. It's arguably their lowest point. Han Solo is basically a wall decoration for Jabba the Hutt.
Right. And while you'd think they'd be regrouping, licking their wounds,
They're actually thrown into this completely different kind of fight, a silent war against a new player someone even Vader didn't fully anticipate.
So our mission today is to really unpack that, the psychological hit from Bespin and how that weakness was immediately, ruthlessly exploited.
Yep. Let's dive in.
Okay, so let's start with that trauma, because our main heroes are they're reeling after Bespin. Leia, for instance. She has that incredibly raw moment, that confession, I love you.
And gets the I know back.
Yeah.
That moment, it really shatters something in her.
How so? What do the sources say?
Well, they describe her afterwards as just profoundly vulnerable. It's not just emotional. It actually shows up physically, like nightmares, constant nightmares, waking up sweating, tasting the cold metal tang of the carbonite chamber in her memory.
Wow.
It's not just fear of losing Khan. It's also this fear of her own emotions, of that vulnerability she showed. It kind of terrifies her more than facing down stormtroopers.
And Luke, he's got his own set of scars, physical and mental. He gets that new hand.
The sleek cybernetic one, yeah.
Oh.
But the source material mentions his wrist throbs, phantom pain, every time he focuses on it.
But that's almost secondary, isn't it?
Oh, completely. The physical stuff is bad, but the psychological wound, that's the Dagobah cave vision.
Right, where he fights Vader, cuts off his head.
And the mask cracks open to reveal his own face. He cannot shake that image. That fear haunts him.
The fear that he could fall, become his father.
Exactly. It's so intense, apparently, that while they're escaping on the ship, he almost loses his connection to the Force entirely during training. He's overwhelmed by it.
So, Leia's traumatized, Luke's haunted. What about Vader? Is he just basking in victory?
Not quite. Actually, no. His own internal conflict flares right back up. Big time.
Really? After capturing Han and defeating Luke?
Yeah. He's fighting to keep that rage, the fuel for the dark side, burning hot. But he can't quite snuff out what the sources call that single spot of light, Anakin Skywalker. He sees Luke as this incredible potential, a tool. But there's this grudging respect, too. He even admits something pretty startling about their duel.
What's that?
He basically acknowledges that if Luke hadn't been thrown off by the shock revelation, I am your father.
Yeah.
If Luke hadn't broken his focus with that fear and confusion, Vader thinks Luke might actually have beaten him right there on Bespin.
Whoa. Vader admits Luke almost won. That sounds dangerous for a Sith Lord. That level of doubt.
It really is. It shows how potent the light side's pull, or maybe Luke's potential, really is. Vader understands that pure, selfless drive is lethal in a way. The dark side, which is inherently selfish, can't quite match. He needs Luke, but he almost fears his potential goodness.
Okay, so while the three big players are locked in this intense psychological battle, the stage is set for someone else to make a move.
Exactly, an opportunist.
Yes.
A very, very sophisticated one.
Enter Prince Xizor, and this guy is something else. Not just ruthless, but biologically advantaged.
Prince Xizor, Underlord of the Black Sun Criminal Syndicate. Yeah, he's not your typical thug. Think precise, elegant, ambitious.
Not like Jabba.
Oh, not at all. Jabba's about crude power. Xizor's about efficiency, influence, and ultimately replacing Vader as the Emperor's number 2. That's his game.
And part of his edge comes from his species, right?
Yeah.
The Fallen.
That's a huge part of it. The Phalan are fascinating. They evolved from reptilian ancestors into what many consider the most, aesthetically perfect humanoid species in the galaxy.
So he looks impressive.
Immensely. Xizor himself is over 100 years old, but looks like he's maybe 30. Perfect grooming, perfect composure. But the real kicker isn't just looks, it's biology.
The pheromones.
Yes, he naturally emits pheromones that affect most human-related species. The sources say the effect is more potent than any drug.
Wow.
When his emotions rise, like anger or focus, his skin can flush with color, and anyone susceptible nearby feels this overwhelming attraction. Compulsion, almost.
He weaponizes desire itself.
Precisely. It's a tool of control. He's beautiful, powerful, and your own body chemistry is telling you to obey him. It's incredibly insidious.
Which makes his criminal empire, Black Sun, even scarier. It's not just about muscle.
It's about manipulation on a massive scale.
Yeah.
Backed by huge resources, Black Sun is vast. Looking at their financials mentioned in the sources, they're doing very well. Spice revenue, up 21%. Arms, up 31%.
But there's a really interesting detail in those numbers. Slave trade revenue is down, way down.
Yeah, down 53%. That's a huge drop.
What does that signal?
It tells you the Rebel Alliance, even though they're small and on the run, they're having a real measurable impact on certain parts of the underworld economy.
They're disrupting the slave trade.
Successfully. They're hitting convoys, freeing slaves, making it too risky, too costly for Black Sun in some sectors. And Xizor, he doesn't really care about the slaves themselves. He just pivots. Puts resources into more profitable ventures like weapons. Shows his adaptability.
Contrasting with the Empire's bureaucracy.
Big time.
Yeah.
And he maintains control over this sprawling network through, well, absolute ruthlessness. We see a prime example with one of his Vigos, his lieutenant.
Vigo Green.
Exactly. Xizor finds out Green's been skimming, maybe betraying him. Instead of a quiet disappearance, Xizor deals with it publicly during a meeting.
And this is where we meet Guri, right? His personal assassin.
Mm-hmm. Guri. She's Xizor's ultimate enforcer and status symbol. She's a human replica droid, an HRD, indistinguishable from a human woman.
Cost a fortune, I bet.
9 million credits, the text says. She has this inviting, rich alto voice, but she's unique. The only HRD ever built specifically to be an assassin. Lethal programming and a beautiful shell.
And she deals with Vigo Green right there.
Coldly, efficiently. Snaps his neck with some kind of Durasteel clamp integrated into her hand or wrist. And Xizor, he watches this, then refers to the whole thing as a calculated bit of prevarication.
Strange phrase, meaning?
Meaning it was a performance, a strategic lie almost. He likely knew Green was dirty for a while, but used the execution as an object lesson for the other Vigos. Loyalty is rewarded, betrayal is fatal. Efficiency above all, no pleasure, just results.
Okay, so that sets the stage for his big play, the one aimed squarely at Vader.
Yep. His grand design, it's incredibly ambitious, relying on juggling multiple deceptions at once.
He's playing everyone against each other.
Pretty much. It's got layers. Layer 1. Position himself as useful to the rebels, strangely enough.
Wow.
He allows the Golthon spy network, specifically a Bolthon named Koth Melon, to successfully steal plans for a top-secret Imperial project.
The second Death Star plans.
Bingo. By letting them get those plans, he gains the Alliance's trust, or at least makes them think Black Sun can be a source, and he focuses their attention squarely on the Empire's military might, not on him.
Okay, that's clever. Layer 2.
Feed Vader something valuable but controllable. Xizor tips Vader off about the location of a secret rebel shipyard.
And Vader destroys it.
Like swatting a fly. This makes Xizor look useful to the Imperial war effort. But Vader, he's suspicious. He deliberately doesn't tell the Emperor who gave him the intel. Keeps Xizor's involvement to himself. He sees Xizor as his rival to deal with, not the Emperor's.
Which Xizor probably counts on.
Almost certainly. And that leads to Layer 3, the kill shot. Targeting Luke.
How does Leia fit in?
Xizor learns Leia's trying to find out, through underworld contacts, who put a bounty on Luke Skywalker's head. He realizes Leia is the perfect bait.
If he gets Leia.
Luke will come for her. And Xizor's plan is simple. Kill Luke Skywalker on Coruscant.
Why kill Luke? Vader wants him alive.
Exactly. Killing Luke denies Vader the one asset he needs to potentially overthrow the Emperor. It cripples Vader's own ambitions, weakens him in the Emperor's eyes, and leaves a power vacuum that Xizor intends to fill.
Wow. Okay, so Leia unknowingly becomes the linchpin in this whole scheme.
She's the bait, and the chase is on immediately. Leia, Lando, and Chewie head off to make contact with Black Sun, first on Rhodia. But getting onto Coruscant itself, that's tricky.
It's Imperial capital. Tight security.
Super tight. So Leia has to go deep undercover. She takes on the identity of the UP's bounty hunter.
Boosh, the helmet, the whole outfit we see later.
Yep. The smelly stained armor, the voice modulator, the full package. It's the perfect disguise to slip through Imperial customs unnoticed. Grimy bounty hunters are beneath suspicion, kind of.
Meanwhile, Luke and the others are trying to catch up. Lando, Chewie, and Dash Rendar.
Ah, yes, Dash Rendar, a mercenary pilot, sort of a Han Solo type, who helps Luke out of a jam with some of Jabba's thugs on Tatooine just before this. He joins the rescue mission.
And their route onto Coruscant. It's not exactly glamorous.
Oh, God, no. It's the complete opposite. To get into Xizor's fortress without using the front door, they have to go underneath, way underneath.
The sewer system.
The sub-sewer system. kilometers deep beneath the glittering surface of Imperial Center.
What's it like down there?
Disgusting. The sources describe wading through greenish, black, thick, oily sludge. The air stings of rotten chemicals. It's this shocking contrast, the pristine city above and this literal cesspool beneath.
Talk about hitting rock bottom. Lando helps them navigate this.
Yeah, Lando being Lando, he bribed an engineer, a guy named Vid Kuhn, to get them access and guide them through these awful tunnels. It really highlights their desperation.
But eventually they get through, and the main event is Leia confronting Xizor in his palace.
Right. She's brought before him, and she's utterly confident. He thinks he has her.
Because of the pheromones.
He cranks them up to 11. Full biological warfare. He literally tells her she'll ache for him, that her body will betray her mind.
And does it work? How does Leia react?
It definitely affects her.
Yeah.
She describes him seeming to sort of glow. She feels dizzy, hot, struggles to catch her breath. The physical pull is intense, undeniable. But she finds an antidote, an unexpected one.
What is it?
Pure, unadulterated rage.
Rage.
Yeah. Her fury at Xizor, at his plan to use her to kill Luke, that protective, selfless anger acts like a shield. She realizes, quote, anger made a good antidote. It cuts through the pheromonal haze.
That's incredible, resisting a biological imperative with sheer force of will.
She manages to push away from him, physically resisting the pull, and grits out why she's there. I came to talk about Luke Skywalker. Her love for Luke, expressed as fury, saves her from betraying herself.
So Xizor's ultimate weapon fails. His plan is crumbling. Now they just need to get out of there alive.
Right. Escape from a fortress palace crawling with guards, and their plan is bold. A total bluff.
Lando's work.
Lando's specialty. They use a thermal detonator.
Yeah.
A Class A one, the really big kind.
The classic dead man's switch bluff.
Pretty much. Luke holds the trigger mechanism. He tells Xizor that Lando dropped the actual armed detonator down a garbage chute somewhere deep in the palace.
Oh, clever.
He gives Xizor an ultimatum. Let them walk out unharmed, or the timer runs out, or if anything happens to them, Luke triggers it, and boom. Several floors collapse, bringing the 80 stories above down with them.
Total destruction. Does Xizor buy it?
He does. He sees Luke isn't kidding. He panics. Orders his guards to stand down immediately, gives the rebels 5 minutes to get clear.
So Xizor scrambles to escape, too.
Yeah. He runs for his personal ship, the Virago, aiming to get to his huge private space station, an orbital skyhook called Faline's Fist. Thinks he can regroup there with his private fleet.
But someone else has been watching all this unfold.
Oh, yeah. Darth Vader. He's finally put the pieces together, intercepted transmissions confirming Xizor was plotting against Luke.
And Vader doesn't wait for permission, does he?
Nope. The Emperor apparently told him to be patient, to handle Xizor carefully. Vader ignores that completely. He contacts Xizor via hologram as Xizor is fleeing.
What does he say?
Basically tells him his ambition outstripped his ability. Says he, Vader, will risk the Emperor's displeasure to deal with him personally.
And then
Vader orders his orbiting Star Destroyer to fire. Not a warning shot. A massive, concentrated blast from his main cannons aimed directly at the Faline's Fist skyhook.
Obliterates it.
Instantly, the entire station just vanishes in a huge explosion.
What about Xizor and his ship?
He almost gets crushed by the debris raining down from his own collapsing station. He dodges that, only to be caught moments later in the shockwaves from the Faline's Fist destruction. Vaporized.
Wow. Swift. Brutal. Vader ensures Xizor will not be there to see any Imperial consequences.
Problem solved, Vader style. Black Sun's decapitated, temporarily at least. Vader reasserts his position, and the heroes, they made it. They're safe.
But Han is still frozen.
But the immediate threat from Xizor is gone. And Luke. Luke has changed.
How so?
He survived another crucible. He understands his path, his role, maybe more clearly than ever. He's not just a farm boy anymore.
Which leads directly to the final setup for the next stage.
Exactly. Luke records that message for Jabba the Hutt, the famous one,
where he introduces himself with that newfound confidence.
Luke Skywalker, Jedi Knight and friend to Captain Solo. He's claiming that title, Jedi Knight, and he offers R2 and 3PO as a gift.
A diplomatic gesture, sort of, to get his foot in the door at Jabba's palace and start negotiating for Han.
It's the opening move for the entire Return of the Jedi rescue sequence. Bold.
Yeah.
Confident.
So this whole hidden chapter, this war within a war while Han was on ice, it really sets the stage. But it also raises some deeper questions, doesn't it, about power, control?
Definitely. You see Vader struggling with the light within him. You see Xizor's intricate manipulations ultimately fail because of his own arrogance. But what about the tools they use?
Like Guri, the assassin droid.
Right. Guri is fascinating. She's designed purely for loyalty and killing. Yet when Luke defeats her and she's genuinely stunned she could fail, he offers her something radical.
What does he offer?
A way out. Redemption, basically. He says, come with us. We can have you reprogrammed. A chance to be something other than a weapon.
And she turns him down.
Flat out refuses. She says something like, I am what I am, and that she has too much to answer for.
Choosing her identity, even a manufactured one.
It seems so. She was built for death, programmed for loyalty. Yet in that moment, she chooses. Consequences. Identity. It's complex. She exercises this strange kind of freedom by refusing the freedom offered.
So that's maybe the thought to leave everyone with today. In this galaxy obsessed with the dark side, with absolute power that tries to control everything, is real change, real salvation, even possible for someone literally designed for destruction.
Yeah. And what does it mean to choose your own path when your very existence was manufactured by someone else for their own violent ends? It's a heavy question.
Definitely something to think about. Thanks for that deep dive.
Always a pleasure.